What's going on YouTube? I got a Duncan Z Pro or Pro Z Yo-Yo, and I've had it for a little bit, and so I did a couple things to it, and it's a little confusing just by trying to go by the package. And so what I'm going to show you guys is my favorite mode this thing will go into, and a little mod I did to it to make it a little bit better. Now zoom in to all these pieces here. This is what it all comes with. Okay, it comes with, of course, both of the sides, Pro Z or Z Pro, and it comes with these that come off and on. It comes with the spacers and these two reversible ones, and so it's kind of confusing. I mean, what are you going to do with all these pieces, right? So I'm going to show you the best responsive, easy mode if you're a beginner. This is the way to put this thing together that it will be the most responsive. It'll be super responsive once you're done with this. And so I'm going to show you how to put this particular mode together the way that I found works best after taking this apart several times. So we're going to use the long screw that comes with it. It comes with two axles. The axles just come in here, and of course the inside will always be where this starburst pattern is, so you'll never get that wrong. You want the one with the lip to be on the outside and the starburst right there on the inside of the yo-yo. So we've got the long axle in there. We're gonna put a spacer in there first, okay? Then we're going to use one of the small spacers, okay? And you see how one side is flat? I don't know if I can get that in the camera. One side is flat. The other side has, that's hard to get. The other side has the higher part. Now what you want to do is you want to make it to where the next thing we put on the bearing is going to have the flat side on there. See, there's no raised part. The high part is going into the spacer. And so then we're going to put the small bearing. It comes with a big bearing and a small bearing. We're going to put the little small bearing because this is the responsive, easy mode bearing to put in there. Then we're going to put the second spacer in there, again with the flat part up against the bearing to where you do have that raised part up now. Try to get the best shot as I can. And then we're going to put the big blue or whatever color spacer you have on there. This part I've already put on the side thing that goes in there. And again, we're going with a starburst pattern on the inside. There you go. Let's see. Okay. And we're going to just screw that on. Now, one thing I want to say that I did to it, this axle is a little bit too long. And once you don't want to ever crank your yo-yos down, but you want it to be good and tight. What was happening was the axle was trying to push this sidewall off. I should know the terminology to it, but this piece right here. So that axle was wanting to push up when he had it all the way down, when he had it all cranked, is wanting to pop that off. And so it was just a tad bit too big, so I got a Dremel and shaved off just a little bit of that axle so that doesn't happen anymore, and just made it a little bit better. So we have all those parts on. We're going to screw it on because the nut is in there. You got that nut in there. Don't forget that. I don't know if you can see it. There's a nut in there that's kind of stays in there because I have this on there. Anyway, we're going to screw that on. And this actually is a pretty good beginner yo-yo. I mean, I'm impressed. For a $10 yo-yo. You can get this thing at Walmart. So it's $10. You can get it at Walmart. And I think it's an awesome yo-yo to begin with because you don't have to order it and wait for it. If you have the urge to yo-yo, you can go buy it at Walmart. It has two bearings. It has a responsive bearing, just the small one that we have in here, and it has the large bearing if you want to go unresponsive. I heard this thing isn't any good unresponsive, or it isn't the best for sure. And so I'm only doing unresponsive right now because I'm still learning how to yo-yo. So that's why I want to show you guys how to get this thing to be super responsive if you put it together just like this. Now I'm going to put this cap on, and then I only have one more thing to show you after this. And see, these caps fit right now because I had a little metal drill bit on the Dremel, and it's this little small metal drill bit with the kind of like teeth on it. And anyway, it didn't take but a second to shave it down a little bit because the axle was just a tad bit too long. Now I can make this thing pretty tight. You don't want to crank it. Whoops, see, that was kind of made the cap make a sound, but it didn't even move it. Anyway, you'll see if you get one. Now I'm going to put the string on, and this is the part that will make it super responsive. All right, so we're gonna do 3 or 4 wraps on here. I think I found that 3 or 4 does the best. At least 3 I had to do. Now you won't be able to throw a spinner this way. This is when you're just first learning and you are, you're not throwing any sleepers yet. So how I get the string like this is I untwist it and it makes it big. You hold it like this. My yo-yo is put together. You put it on there like that. Then what you want to do is like that. And I just figured out another way. I did some twists like that. You may have to mess with that if you've never done that before, but I have plenty of 3 or 4 twists on here. It will sleep like this if you put the other small spacers in the other way around that I showed you and only do 1 wrap. It'll sleep. It doesn't sleep that well because it's light. So I'm just using this as my looping yo-yo. Anyway, that's all there is to it. I didn't find a whole bunch of videos on YouTube about putting this thing together. I've never put the larger bearing in here, and so this is my favorite mode. I didn't really like it without these large spacers in the smaller axle. I thought it would be a better looping yo-yo, but it always went sideways on me. I just didn't like it. This has a cool shape. It's more comfortable to throw and catch than my recess first base. Okay, so I almost really like this Z better. Anyway, guys, I just wanted to show you because I found out that if you shave down the axle a little bit, it makes the cap stay on better. And there's a few different configurations of this yo-yo, and it's kind of hard to tell what to do when you first get it. Please like and subscribe so more people can see this video, and because I imagine a lot of people will buy these because you can get them at Walmart. Pretty cool yo-yo, definitely worth the price of $10 because you get some extra bearings and stuff anyway. So, all right, guys, I appreciate y'all watching, and I'll see you next time.